All right. Welcome to another edition of the Do or Die podcast, the only podcast and YouTube channel devoted to the owners and drivers of classic Porsches. We record live in front of a studio audience of a whole one or two people tonight and a dog. We have Nixon over in the corner and some friends over there, Shane, and Mikey's behind the big board. How you doing, Mikey?
Doing great today. Enjoying the weather. Actually.
Yeah, man, the weather's great here. We are in downtown Las Vegas. It is early November, and I don't think the weather could be better. Just so people know, the Durr Studio is located in the center of the Arts District of Las Vegas, also known as the 18B. Tonight is First Friday, so I don't know if any of that noise from outside is coming through into the Durr Studio, but it sounds kind of cool out there, huh?
Yeah, it's bumping.
Yeah, it's going on. You all right? Yeah, we're gonna have to get the glow sticks going here. It'll take a little E. All right. Well, we've got a really exciting guest tonight, don't we? Yeah. Maybe some of you kids on the interwebs have heard of a little social media site if you're in the cars called Drive Tribe. And if you have heard of Drive Tribe, then maybe you've heard of our guest. He goes by the name of Migz, also Chris. But we're going to call him Migz because that sounds so cool. Migz, welcome to the Durr Studio. How you doing?
Thank you, JP. I am doing fabulous.
Are we live streaming on your channel right now as well?
I do, but I'm not sure if anybody's awake because Eastern Standard Time. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Because of Eastern Standard Time, so.
Yeah, we're recording kind of late for us. We're recording at around 8 o'clock here Pacific. So yeah, on your side of the country, it's a little bit different.
That is.
Yeah, and all your friends back in Europe. I mean, what about those three British guys? I mean, are they up or what time do they go to bed? They go to bed at like 2 in the afternoon, right? Right after the afternoon service at the old folks' home.
It really depends on.
Jeremy Clarkson will never be on the show. Apparently, I just screwed that up. Sorry, Jeremy. We really love you.
That's not true.
No.
It depends on where they're filming. Really, is the answer.
Oh, good call. Where the old folks' home last service is in their area is what you're saying.
You know, as you're adding that in there, the old folks' home, they still draw attention from all ages, right?
Man, they really do, man. I got to tell you, bust their chops, but I mean, they've got to be the reason why probably all of us are in this room, right. Ultimately.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, what about you, man? You're with tell us what Drive Tribe is, because I think a lot of people are still kind of wondering. I think it's, especially in America, we need to get more people on Drive Tribe. Tell me about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's one of the largest online automotive communities in the world.
Yeah.
And it's basically anybody that's a journalist or they have something to share, content creators, and for those that just are consumers of that information.
Yeah.
So we have some engineers that are on there that put out material as well, and we have some entertainers. So there's a good mix, as well as professionals.
It seems like Drive Tribe should really be blowing up right now because, I mean, Facebook is getting so much hate, these days. I mean, it seems like so many social media platforms have just gotten political and divisive. I feel like Drive Tribe is one of those places that it doesn't really matter what your politics are. If you're into cars, you're into cars, man.
Right, it's a safe place.
Yeah. So I mean, how do we get more people to switch from some of those other books and get over the Drive Tribe? What's up?
Well, that's what we're trying to do, and that's what I'm trying to do personally. I'm trying to get out there in the U.S. and I'd like to get outside of the U.S. as well and just try to meet up with people that are on Drive Tribe, that have their own tribes, or that are interested in everything. I mean, you have obviously your car collectors, and you have people like Matt that was just on here that are into
Matt from
detailing.
Obsessed Garage.
Right.
Yeah.
And you also have just hobbyists. You have gamers, huge group of people on Drive Tribe that are gamers as well. You have your influencers also. So it is there's something there for everybody.
Yeah.
Really is.
What does it mean to be an ambassador for Drive Tribe? I mean, are you the only one in America right now?
No.
I mean, official ambassador. I don't know how that works.
No. So basically, it's a bunch of people that really want to be a part of the Drive Tribe community more so than people that are on there now. So they go out and they spread the word about Drive Tribe. And certainly if anybody has questions about the platform, they'll be able to answer those questions. Also look at content that is on thedrivetribe.com,
Mhm.
and promote it to the appropriate areas and try to get that information out to other people.
Yeah.
So we're really right now looking at collaborating with each other in the U.S. and trying to get people more involved.
Yeah.
So.
What? So I mean, I see you pretty much at everything. I mean, we were at Monterey Car Week. We saw you at Pebble Beach. I mean, it seems like wherever we go, you're there. And you're not a specifically Porsche guy. Drive Tribe is all about all things automotive, right? I mean, tell me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like anything automotive, we
Yeah.
do have, if you have a business out there that's automotive related, if you have an interest that's out there, you go ahead and create your own tribe. And you can bring your followers from, other social media groups, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and it's just another outlet for you to spread the news about what you do.
Yeah. You it seems like you get an interview with just about everybody. I mean, who are you trying to get that you haven't been able to get?
You.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm the easiest guy to find, man. I'm in the 18B all the time. I don't go anywhere.
Now, who am I trying to get out there? There's kind of a mix of what I'm doing right now. I love the stories about, it's kind of like what you're doing with your Fascination, right? Stories that people tell about why they're interested in cars. And I love listening, I'm very attentive to that, and I think people see that right away. And they really have a lot of interesting stories. So, for instance, when I was out in London visiting Drive Tribe headquarters, we did go out to the Shelsley Walsh Hill Climb. It's one of the oldest automotive sporting events in the world. And I did meet up with somebody that was there since day one, since the first event. I ended up spending the day just talking to him. He knew every single car, the specs on every car, the previous owners of each car. And it's just amazing just sitting there and hearing all the information. So I did an interview and I shared that with other people. Now, I think a lot of times people do get caught up in the cars and they're missing the story behind the car, because cars are just pieces of art, really. So why is it important to each people? Why does somebody like a Porsche, say, over a BMW, right? So getting that story is really, really interesting. But I want to kind of go back to redirect the question to how I got onto Drive Tribe.
Okay.
All right. So a couple of years ago, I was at Pebble Beach, and I met this guy called JP
Uh-oh.
for their Fascination, and I interviewed him. And as I was kind of looking him up after the interview, kind of getting a little bit more information, the first thing that popped up on Google was a Drive Tribe account that he had.
Oh, really?
And this is you, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said, Drive Tribe, what's this all about? So I looked it up.
Wow.
And that day, I created an account. I mean, I was at Pebble Beach, why not create an account, get content out there?
Yeah.
Since that day, it's been a little bit over a year, I started posting content. At first, I wasn't really sure what to do. I was more of that guy that had hot off the press kind of information. I want to get it out there. People, it was interesting, press releases and that sort of thing. And then I started going into creating new content. So I started, one of my first series was the art of Formula One. And what I was doing was I was taking the artists that were contracted by Ferrari, Scuderia Ferrari, to come up with the cover art for each of the Formula One races at each of the locations. What was interesting about that for me was, as they painted it, there was always something in there. There was a story behind that as well. And you could see buildings and things like that. And so I would research that. What does that building mean? Why is that in the picture? And I kind of review it. Oh, this building has historical meaning. And I would break that down for people so I could say, hey, the reason, my opinion on why this was incorporated into the cover art was because of this, this, and this. And then just below that, I would talk about the artist. I would get their bio. I would contact them. I'd get in touch with them. And they're appreciative. A lot of them are from actually from Marvel Comics and DC Comics. And they're Italian artists. So even recently, there's an event that's going on this weekend in Lucca, Italy. And it's a comic event. And a lot of the artists from Formula One are going to be on. They're at the event actually doing some signings and things like that. So it's great. So that was interesting for me. And then after that, I just started doing some interviews. I started getting involved in the community online and speak to other people in the U.S. And that was really important, engaging with the audience. So I was slowly kind of learning the social media influencer part of things. And it was fun, and you still have creative control over all that, and that's what I liked about it. And then recently, going to Pebble, that's when we started getting a lot of influx on interviews with like John Hennessy, for instance, Matty Remus, a number of people. You can see
Supercar Blondie.
Supercar, exactly, right? So, as my Massachusetts accent is coming up, Supercar Blondie, and Shmi, and a number of other people that were out there, Daily Driven Exotics. So
Shane, are you known as Supercar Blondie?
You're gonna have to define what that means.
He says you're gonna have to define what that means. I don't know. I was kind of hoping you would, but that's okay. Keep your shirt on over there. All right.
Right. So since then, ultimately since then, with the content that I put out there and the views of my content, in about a year, maybe a year and a month,
Yeah.
I've had about 1.5 million views.
Wow. In that short of time.
In that short of time,
Yeah.
because of you.
Wow. Well, that's awesome. Now let's get us some of those views.
Well, that's
Man.
I contacted you right away
Yeah,
when I
you
saw
did.
season 2. I was
You
like,
did.
let's do it, buddy.
Yeah, we're definitely going to take advantage of that. I can't wait to get you guys the season 2 trailer and get that out there, which is definitely coming. Well, talking about stories and being a car enthusiast. I mean, let's go way back, man. What gets you revved up? I mean, what kind of cars are you into, and what made you a car enthusiast in the first place?
Interesting. I think what originally got me involved in cars was gaming, believe it or not.
Okay.
So I'm a big gamer.
Yeah.
And Need for Speed, Most Wanted, Gran Turismo.
Sure.
And not only that, but moving to Florida, the car scene was huge in Florida. I
Yeah.
mean, it's always in season.
Mm.
So there were car shows. I started getting, I got involved with Orlando Cars and Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Disney had their own track. Let me go back a like Tarantino
Really?
this back.
Disney has their own track?
They had their own track.
Oh, I was going to say.
There's
Okay.
a story behind that.
Interesting.
The exotic driving experience. I had a Richard Petty experience as well. And that was my first time on
Was
the
that
track.
part of Disney World then, or was that separate?
It was actually in the parking lot just outside of Magic Kingdom. It's no longer
Really?
there.
Huh. Wow.
So that got me interested. And then we met through a friend, the founder actually of Orlando Cars and Coffee, which is right across the street of Highway 4 in Celebration, Florida.
Okay.
And it's Stuart Sensor. And I met up with him. It was just a small event, a bunch of friends getting together. And eventually I worked my way into becoming a creative director.
Okay.
We had about a year after that, and we got up to about 1,000 cars showing up.
Wow.
Like that. Around that point of time, they started building some residential homes nearby.
Yeah.
And after a couple of complaints, we ended up moving over to Winter Park,
Okay.
which is great.
1,000 cars showing up at a car show in Orlando. What is it? Pretty evenly split up? I mean, is it mostly Mustangs and Corvettes, and just a smattering of Euro, or I mean, what's the diversity like in the car scene there?
Good question. Stuart actually went out and had signs placed to kind of line everything up perfectly. We had exotics, lots
Oh,
of
so he
exotics.
segregated the cars at the show,
Right.
depending on model. Okay.
Audis, BMWs,
Yeah.
Mustangs, Corvettes, tuner cars.
Yeah.
There's a whole section of that. And a lot of the groups from those areas, you know, like the Mustang Club or group, they would all rally up together
Yeah.
and show up. So there was a big group. And, you know, we had sponsors there as well. So it's really, really successful, and it's interesting to see the community. I mean, you've seen this, you've spoken about this before in previous podcasts, but it not being about the cars, being about the people and the positive feel in that community, the kart
Yeah.
community. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. You guys, do they do an official drive afterwards, or does everyone just kind of go their separate way, or what's the thing to do after Cars and Coffee there?
Yeah, sometimes there's a rally.
Yeah.
Maybe a rally to get something to eat.
Yeah.
Similar to what we did this morning. by
Sure.
the way, thank you.
Yeah. What did we do this morning?
Oh God, Red Rock, right?
Yeah.
We went out.
What'd you think of that, man?
and That was, you know what? I love, cars are great. I'm more of an adrenaline junkie kind of guy. Like we were just talking about a gamer. So SEMA for me,
With all the plastic and lights and stuff.
and
Yeah.
never seeing Vegas because you're at the SEMA show.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know exactly what we're talking about, we took a ride through the Red Rock Canyon Loop, which is that a state park or a national? I think it's a state park, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're out there twice a week almost. I should know
like
by
maybe
now. Yeah.
more.
We have a lifetime pass or something like that. But if you're ever in Las Vegas and you got to get off the strip and you want to just take a breather, go ahead and rent if you rent one of the exotic car or even something from Avis or whatever. Even if you're in a Hyundai Disappointmente, it's just a fantastic loop. You can't go very fast. There's lots of tourists out there and stuff like that, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful drive, and you'll never believe that you're a half hour from the strip, right?
Yeah, maybe 20 minutes.
Maybe 20 minutes, yeah, if that. Yeah, depending on traffic. Yeah, so you dug that, man.
The weather was perfect.
Right.
You had the top down.
Yeah.
We were filming.
Yeah.
You were just talking away. You
Blah, blah,
made-
blah, blah,
No,
blah,
man,
blah.
I was learning so much. I was like, this is great.
There will be a quiz.
I thought you were going to charge me after.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you haven't left yet. Have you got the bill already, Shane? I don't know.
That's prepared.
Did Nixon eat it? Yeah, you're lucky. You're getting away with scot-free on this one, all right?
Right.
No, we had a good time. That was awesome. And then we're also kind of starting this thing called the Breakfast Club. It was kind of started by the Ryans in L.A. So if you're out there on the interwebs, you got to check out the Porsche Life 111. That's run by Nicole and Jay Ryan. They do an amazing podcast. You got to get on their podcast sometime.
Yeah.
Next time you're in LA, we'll get you hooked up with them. They're just amazing people. They drove out for Cars and Cafe, and just this last Cars and Cafe. But yeah, just fantastic people.
Yeah, that party you had the other night. And
Yeah.
made some introductions there. That was really fun. And
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the kind of cool part about SEMA, right? Is that it's not just walking around a convention hall is brutal, but it's all that stuff that happens out of there, right?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. By the way.
Oh wait, I was talking about Breakfast Club. That's why I was
Oh, there
talking
you
about
go.
the Ryans.
Sorry.
The Ryans do the Breakfast Club every Friday, every single Friday at Newcomb's Ranch on the Angeles Crest Highway. So if you're in LA on a Friday morning, go out there and say hello to them and say we sent you. We are doing it now here in Las Vegas. We're going to the Cottonwood Station in Blue Diamond, just outside of the Red Rock Canyon Loop. We'll be there basically every Friday morning at around 9:30ish. If you want to go on the loop with us, meet us at the front of the loop, maybe a half hour or 40 minutes before that, something like that. But okay, I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there. My apologies.
No, that's
Yeah.
great.
I had to give credit where it was due. Yeah.
Roger. Yeah, totally. So today I was trying to secure some additional interviews, and one of the ones that I tried to get at Bevel, which didn't happen. So I thought SEMA would be a good time, and I'm
Yeah.
making phone calls and calling publicists and that sort of thing. So finally I went up, and somebody was doing a signing, and it was Jay Leno.
Jay Leno was here? Oh, really? Wow, right on.
So I'm waiting in line.
Yeah.
I had my press pass, and I could go up to them, and they could say, yeah, we'll give you a call.
Yeah,
Instead, I said, maybe I'll just get an autograph.
right.
So I went up to Jay, and I said, Jay, do you think you could sign something for me? And he said, sure. So I gave him this card.
show this camera that card there. Can you see it?
So I gave my drive card with the trail on it. I said, do you have a few minutes? Maybe we could do an interview after.
And what'd he say?
He said, "Oh no, unfortunately."
Oh, come on! You're not gonna do an impression? I don't know. You gotta do this. I can't do
No,
it.
it was really nice.
Yeah.
He actually
Right?
looked very tired.
Did he? I feel
He
bad for
looked
the
very,
guy.
yeah.
I'm actually surprised he did. I mean, he is one of the most hospitable guys. I mean, he's one of
absolutely.
those guys, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
He.
No, I
yeah.
did get in touch, and they said,
Mm.
we'll talk about having you up at Burbank.
Yeah.
And he gave me a card and that
Nice.
sort of thing. So, but
Get
yeah,
to see the garage
he
and.
did look- there was a
yeah.
line of people.
Oh
going
my
around.
gosh! Yeah. That's rough. That's got to be rough.
No, it's good for him, right?
Right? Well, I mean, you think? I mean, he's at that point. What does he care?
You know what? In order to be successful in anything, we were talking about this.
Yeah.
You always have to be engaging with your audience, and you have to be nice.
Right, but I mean, and the thing is, I don't know if there's anyone I've ever met that's super famous that's nicer than him, and I've had the pleasure of meeting him, I don't know, at least a half dozen times. He seems to be at like everything we go to in LA.
Right.
And super gracious, but I mean, the thing is, he's reached a level where he could never go in public again, and he's still going to be ubiquitous as the car guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, so why the heck does he do SEMA? That just seems incredible. Just, I guess that's on brand. He's just that gracious. He's going to come out and give his presents to everyone. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not there all day. He just
Well,
kind of sneaks
yeah.
in 15 minutes.
Even if he's there for an hour, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
signing on it,
Yeah.
sure.
Geez, that's a
Sure.
grueling hour. You know,
It'll happen to you one day.
Yeah, right. He was on. Do you remember? MTV had a show. It's before Mikey's. I'm looking at him like he would remember.
Why are you asking me?
Do you know what MTV is? It's this
No.
thing on television. You know what that is?
I have no idea.
There's no music on it.
Right.
Is that the
there's-
reality TV
reality
channel?
TV channel. Back when it was just kind of switching over from music videos to, he was interviewing. No, it was the other way around. Shaq had a show. It was right after Shaq retired from basketball.
Okay.
And Shaq had a show, and he invited Jay Leno to be on his show. And his shtick was that they would, he would just hang out. They would hang out with Shaq and a guest would hang out somewhere and talk.
Okay.
So Shaq invited Jay to meet him. I think it was at Alice's Garage or something, or not Alice's Garage, but Alice's restaurant, right? On the
Right.
yeah. So and Shaq came out on his just crazy over the top Harley of some sort.
Yeah.
And of course Jay, who has every car and motorcycle imaginable. I mean, if it's been made, he has one.
Right.
He showed up in like, I want to say it was like a World War II beat up looking motorcycle with a sidecar, and it was rusty and rattling and everything, and he had the silly hat and the goggles, and I really do want to get a chance to I would love to have him sitting here with us too. And I've always wanted to ask him about this, because he really, that was a big influence to me, because he was like, Shaq, I knew you would show up with like whatever the most expensive, over-the-top, glitzy, crazy thing there is. So
Right.
I had to come with the opposite of it. I'm not going to try to match crazy, super over-the-top glitz. I'm going to bring something, and it was just like, oh, okay, Jay Leno gets it.
Right.
So I mean, he really kind of paved the way for, I think, a lot of us who say, it's cool to have the coolest, latest, greatest thing, but it's cooler to have something different from everyone else.
You're right.
You
Right.
know?
Unique.
Yeah.
So did Shaq have to sit in the sidecar?
I don't
Just like
remember.
knees sticking
I
up
mean,
out
how
of
awesome!
the-
I mean, I gotta think they would have done that. I mean,
That would've
but
been
yeah,
fun. That would've been interesting to
I
see.
wonder if we can look that up on YouTube.
Mikey, can you pull
Yeah.
that
Right? I didn't even think of that. We have the capability to look it up. No,
We have the capability.
we have the technology.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves even more.
Yeah, I don't know what
$6
you're
million
talking about.
man. I mean,
Right.
what's that in today's dollars?
Yeah.
$14 billion man or something like
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah,
That'll give you
right.
about 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. So how long are you in town?
This is actually tomorrow. Taking the red eye. Saturday is the red eye out.
Red Eye out, back to Orlando.
Back to Orlando. And then
Yeah.
we got Sebring for a couple days, and then
Yeah.
I'm heading to New York for a day.
Really? For automotive drive stuff or something else?
Something else.
Oh, okay. All right.
Something else, but we can make it automotive. once in a
Sure.
while.
I mean, you're going to be on
It's
Comedians
kind
and Cars getting coffee with Seinfeld, right? He's got you
Yeah.
invited on there.
That's it.
You can do your stand-up and then go out. You're not stand-up. Actually, you're a musician, right?
I am, yeah. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah. What's tell people where they can hear your stuff.
ReverbNation.com/Migz Rocks.
Migz Rocks. And Migz is the name of your band as well, is that right?
Yeah, the branding. See, that's the whole part of the branding,
Mm-hmm.
right? So can I
Double
incorporate
branding,
that
yeah,
into
very
the
nice.
car thing?
Yeah, where does the word Migz come from?
Migz, last name is Migliosi. It's
Got it.
something like Dad was always called in high school.
Oh, really?
That's-
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a, okay, it's been passed down. That's awesome. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Is your dad still with us?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Right on.
I
What's
mean,
he think
not
all
here,
this?
but-
Well, I mean,
Is he still with us? He took off. He went to the art.
I
festival.
thought that I didn't. We kicked him out. I didn't know who he was.
Who was that guy?
We were like, "There's someone lurking in this." Yeah, and I thought he was trying to steal Mikey's 914.
Right. No.
No,
He
it's
is, yeah. They're back up east.
Yeah, cool. Right
I'll
on.
be seeing them soon, actually. Thanksgiving, we're going to be heading over to Udvar Hazy. Are you familiar with that?
I am not at all. I don't know
It
what that
sounds
is.
almost like their Fascination.
It does, but okay. Well, we don't know how to speak German
Whoa.
at all, which is why the name of our brand is Der Faszination, which is completely incorrect grammatically in
Yeah, I
German.
think you spelled it
It's spelled correctly. It's just grammatically incorrect.
Oh, I see.
It's supposed to be Die Faszination or Die Fascination.
Okay.
But we didn't care. We went with the kind of the Wiener Schnitzel style because
That's it.
Wiener Schnitzel was Der Wiener Schnitzel.
Right.
So we're like, well, that sounds German. Everyone, Der sounds German, so we're going to call it Der Fascination.
Okay.
Die Fascination everyone would think we were making movies about death or something. So yeah, we were definitely okay.
Or like
This
you're
is for
telling
Americans,
somebody off or
man. Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
So about every 1 in 100 Germans that see us wearing a hat will come over and correct us.
They will.
Yeah, but that's why the name of the podcast is Der or Die.
Der or Die.
Yeah,
Got it.
Die is correct, but
I
we're
get
Der.
it.
It all becomes clear, right?
I get it. I didn't get that. I didn't get that before.
Right. It's
Thank you,
that is the
Professor.
inside. Yeah, thank you, Professor. We'll give him the credit for that
I
too.
can hear you fine.
You can hear me just fine. All right, very good. That's okay.
I don't
We don't
wanna
mess
mess
up the hair. Look at
Wow. You owe me a Coke.
this. I don't know if
That
that's
might be-
hair so much as a head
Yeah.
A bulbous head.
accoutrement.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on up there, my man.
Well, gentlemen,
We're getting down that we're running out of ones and zeros.
That's it.
All right. Well, tell us a little. Where can we find? Which tribe are you on? How can we find you on Drive Tribe?
Yeah, actually, you can just Google Drive Tribe Migz or Migz Drive Tribe, and
Okay.
it should just come right up. However, if you're on drivetribe.com, Migz Racing is where the majority of everything is right
Okay.
there. So,
All right.
also USA Drive Tribe, we're on there pretty much all day. So we're trying to engage people that are in the U.S. that are content creators and get them out there. So if you have video that we can show, matter of fact, I think right now in USA Drive Tribe we are showing the party that you had the other night.
Oh, did you make a video on that? I didn't see it.
Oh,
Really?
sorry. I should have showed you first. You're doing some.
I'm like,
Are you just looking it up? I don't know. What do I know?
Strange things going on.
Yeah. Well, there was. Okay, Mikey's looking it up. We'll have to look. We'll have to watch it offline.
I think Mikey
here,
was
but,
climbing on the ceiling or something.
Yeah.
He was getting out of
No, that
hands.
was the goat.
No, it's the one that you were walking me through.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, cool. I can't wait to see it. We'll check that out. Migz, thank you so much for being in the DUR studio and the DUR or Die podcast. You going to come back all the way from Florida sooner than
as long
SEMA?
as you keep inviting me, I'll be up there.
Oh man, your your airline tickets are going to start stacking up, man.
It's all right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming down, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Migz from Drive Tribe. Check him out online and all those places. And then while you're at it, go over to the Der Faszination YouTube channel and give a couple of our films a view. Maybe even hit like or something, thumbs up. Even give us a thumbs down. Either one really helps us. Hit the notification button, subscribe, tell us we're crazy, whatever. It's all good. Thanks for watching another episode. And we were going to give a shout out to God and Porsche of Las Vegas and God and Classic. They are the home of the Vegas delivery. If you're thinking about getting a Porsche, you want to get over there to God and Porsche online and take advantage of their Vegas delivery, where they will pick you up from the airport. They'll take you to the dealership. You'll get your new Porsche. Not only will they pick you up from the airport, but they'll pick you up in a Porsche. You get your Porsche. You drive it around the city. They'll put you up in the nicest hotel on the strip that's available at the time. You just have a fantastic time in Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. Bring your car back to the dealership, go home, and they'll ship it back to you.
Or if you want to drive it.
Or you could drive it home. I mean, who wouldn't want to drive it home? I mean,
You mean I
that's-
didn't have to Uber? I could have just done all that.
you could have just bought a Porsche and you'd had a
Thanks for
Porsche
telling me.
this whole damn time.
I would've
It's not
approved
too
that.
late.
Okay.
It's not too late. You can still get one while you're here.
I will.
All right, buddy. There it is. Thanks again for watching Der Faszination and the DUR or Die podcast. But boom, we're done. Turn it off. Do the little thing.